Welcome back to the channel, and as you can see, we got the Honduran red point hybrid fry here. They need to be rehomed. I'm actually going to build them a pond outside. I'm going to move this male into another tank that I have once everything is good to go. But I'm going to show you a video now of me setting up this pond. Let's get right into this thing. So this is what I have for now. We have our pump here, and basically I'm going to also add a heater out here because it's not completely spring yet, so obviously I want them to be able to stay warm. And I'm also going to add some of the pads and prod bits from over here. Probably won't take pickerel rush yet. I'm going to get away from that. The bees are going to get me if I don't. So now this pump is actually extremely strong. 800 gallons per hour. I'm going to be running it at probably the lowest possible setting, but I've got it in this little 1 gallon fish tank here. As you can see, those little nipples there on the bottom of this flower pot will elevate it. So if all the fry babies, whatever the case is, need a place to hide from this, then they'll have it. And I do have a lot of chemicals here, but I'm not going to treat this pond. I do want it to be as natural for these guys as possible because I want to eventually actually be able to move completely away from filtration. So that's the goal. Before I even attempt to put water in here, plug it in, anything like that, I'm just going to take this bad boy and put it all the way down and then just turn it barely enough till it goes up. There we go. And hopefully I can position this thing. Well, I'll tell you what, if I turn it to the side, is that gonna cause stuff to kick up too much? No, because I need lift. Gotta have lift. Okay. Of course. I think the best bet, more than anything, is just gonna be like this, because my outlet is over here. So essentially I want it to be spaced as efficiently as possible. Everybody, so I'm just heading over. We're gonna grab some rocks from over here, and that's gonna go on the inside. I am gonna want some bigger stones, even though it is gonna be bare bottom because fish love that kind of stuff. So be right back. So these Hondurans are gonna be some big beefy fish, and I want smooth stones. Sort of like, let's see, like that, just bigger. Like that. Boom, you can see the concept. There we go. Be right back. Okay everyone, so here's where we're at now. Basically I've just surrounded that bottom part, and I've also added in rocks here, and this is basically just to prevent bigger things from getting sucked up into my pump, as well as keeping this pump from just basically spazzing out whenever I cut the water on if it's too strong, because right now I don't know if it's going to be too strong or not. After some quick touching up, I think that's going to do. Yeah, so I just gotta say I'm absolutely loving how this thing's coming together so far, but I'll have everything I used linked below. Go ahead and check it out if you want to make your own Honduran red point fish pond. Alright, so this is where we're at. I've got these bricks here lined around, as you can see, and I even found some nicer ones with some moss to put at the top. And I'm hoping that with the moisture that's going to be back here, that it won't be too much and it just explodes, but that it'll also just stay alive, because I'm liking that look. I just don't want it to become an overwhelming thing for obvious reasons. Okay, so y'all know I love the bees, so I'm about to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. I solved with this ceramic plating a splashing problem that I have here, or probably will have. It's durable, it'll hold up, so I'm not worried about it. I also have it slanting at an angle. But what I'm also going to do is take this bad boy and put it in the corner. I'm going to fill that with rocks, put water in it for the bees. You know we got to take care of the bees. Okay, so got the gravel in here, and basically that's just going to be a place for the bees to hang out and chill. So yeah, now I need to find something to put on this side to counteract that weight. Okay, so I'm going to have to do more research than what I'm willing to do right now on what kind of plant would be good in the environment that this is going to be in. So instead, I'm just going to center that. Well, actually, I think it'll be more stable at the end of the day because of this going under that. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Okay, so before I start to fill the pot here, I want to go ahead and have my plants ready. So let's go inside and grab some from one of the tanks because plants absolutely explode in there, as well as out here. But the ones out here are of course dead. I'll show you. Well, not completely dead, but mostly dead, dormant, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to start aggravating those bees. Okay, so this cycle for the pond outside for these guys is going to be a majority fish in, but I am going to take stuff out of their tank. Hopefully Dad doesn't obliterate my fingers here. So I'll leave most of that, what's left. Just take this little bit here, this healthy. Okay, I'm gonna take some of the tank water here. Okay. Alright, I'll see you guys outside. Okay, so we have our plants out here ready. We have the little bit of stuff I am gonna use, obviously. Gotta have the baking soda. Whoop whoop. I tell you what, chlorine's not gonna stand a chance. Okay, so the next step is to turn on the water. There is one more step to setting up our pond. Okay, that step is going to be aquarium salt. I'm gonna go get that right now. Okay, and you guys know if I do this while the water's running, it'll actually allow this salt to dissolve how it needs to. And for this first go round here, I'm probably going to salt it a little heavier than I normally would just because of it being an outdoor plant pot. Anything that's going to be in there, this is going to get rid of without harming my fish, of course. It would take a lot more than what I'm doing to be bad for them. Especially because the tank, I mean, this is a treatment that I use all the time. So the tank that they're going to be coming from is already going to have parameters the same. So kind of have. Okay guys, so keep in mind none of the plants here are permanent, but I just want to kind of give you guys an idea if you have some things laying around and you wanted to build a pond, or more or less getting some ideas for myself of how I'm going to landscape this with plants at some point. Not really sure which direction I'm gonna go, but I did come across this and I had actually forgot about it. This is a bag of oak leaves and tank water and some salt, of course, that I've had sitting about a month, killing off anything from the outdoors, just in preparation for this project. So let's go ahead and add this stuff. No fancy way really to add in prep leaves. That's gonna speed up our process about tenfold. And again, the purpose of this is tennis. It's good for those fish, and it's gonna create more of that natural environment that I'm looking for out of this pond. Like I said, I do wanna go to eventually being all planted. And when all of this falls to the bottom, it's actually really good nutrients for plants as well as the fish. You know, they're going to be spawning in here like crazy, I'm sure, so they're going to need it. Of course, I love those guys when I give them the best possible home out here. And then of course, whenever fish outgrow this, they can get moved to 55s or bigger ponds. So It never really ends. Okay guys, so I'm actually really thankful right now. I plugged it up and it's doing exactly what I want it to do. We're in for a treat. We are in for an absolute treat, y'all, because we've got spring coming up. This whole area is going to be beautiful. Let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I do want to say, this video, we're not going to be adding the fish. So if you're wanting to see that, make sure you like the video, turn on the notifications, and hit that free subscribe button. We're just going to go ahead and add in our plants. And when it comes to the heater, I've actually decided I'm not going to put one. The reason being, that pump is going to heat up this water. How do I know that? I actually had that pump running on this very setting, powering one of the canisters on one of my 55s, and it actually caused my tank to get about 83 degrees without even having to run a heater. So, also another note, all of the paint filament floating around in here, I am going to scoop out. I'm also going to smack on a hang on back, probably in this corner, with polyfill, just to get all of that paint up in there as it, you know, falls off or whatever. That's the only downside. I'd suggest getting something ceramic, because realistically, this is going to get me through spring and summer, and then I'm going to upgrade. It's gotten me through 2-3 years, so if you do something that's plastic and not ceramic, just keep in mind you've got about 3 years on it. It's going to be cheaper. It's just not worth it in the end. Okay everyone, so this is what we've came up for temporarily. I say that like it's not going to last the whole season. For our Honduran convict cichlids, or Honduran red points, I mean, excuse me. So like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm going to give her a little wet down for the thumbnail, and until next time, stay fishy.